Alright, what up guys, Man with 4 here. So check it out, I'm finally redoing my lights. I feel like I'm getting a nice proper light here. There's one company and one light that I've had on the truck that's outlasted the rest, outperformed the rest, brighter than the rest, and that's going to be Diode Dynamics. So I have them for my two ditch lights, my two fog lights. They're both amber in color and they're bright. The cool thing about the diode is they do have a backlight on them, so I always use them for my ditch lights. It's kind of like marker lights. So I'll be going through the wiring and different Deutsch connectors, the 4-prong, 2-prong, and kind of show you the differences and what options you really have as far as wiring your lights. So not that long ago I did do a video installing all the lights that I currently have on here. I redid all of them. Unfortunately they're just not working for me anymore, so I'm going with diode. So let's go ahead and get on to what I'm going to be replacing. And first off, these are 8-inch. I'm going to be replacing with these 6-inch. And check these out. I believe these are the fog, and it's just kind of how it spreads the light. So they're all a little bit different and they are interchangeable, so you have a lot of options as far as diode. I think these are going to do fine. We'll see. I'll test them out. I'm actually going out to King of Hammers on the 27th. I'll be doing a night run over at Rattlesnake Canyon, and you know, perfect opportunity to show off all the lights on the truck and just see how much this light really spreads. So that is going to be the two side lights, so on each side, and it's going to be a white light on both. Now for the back chase lights, I decided to go same 6-inch, same pattern as far as the faceplate, and these are amber in color. So these will be going on the back. Now after a lot of thought and a lot of debate as far as my two front fogs, which are KCs, I decided to replace them. Just since I'm going full diode, might as well have everything diode. So for the fogs, I decided to go to 5-inch LED pods. These are going to be replacing the KCs, and I'll have two of these up front, and another one that I'm very, very excited about. You know, we couldn't leave the 42-inch light bar out. So also from Diode, I have a 42-inch light bar here, amber in color. It's got the same pattern as my side lights, and then it's got, I think that's a flood design to where it just spreads out the light a little bit more. So that's going to be the 42-inch light bar. Super excited. I'll show you how I'm going to wire this up, but that'll be replacing the light bar. Now I'm going to be going around showing you exactly how I'm wiring this up. Luckily, during my last install, I made a custom wire harness that is on top of the roof rack, currently zip tied up, and it all has Deutsch connectors. So as far as the 6-inch, it should be pretty easy, just popping these off and popping the other ones back on and plugging them in, and it should be ready to go. So with that said, let's go ahead and get on the install and get this thing going. So one of my biggest problems with these lights is the hardware. Be careful what lights you guys are getting, or maybe, you know, switch out the hardware, because a lot of these companies are just giving you this cheap hardware and it rusts over. And I was kind of struggling even getting this off, and you break a bolt, everything just turns into a fucking nightmare. So I'm glad I was able to, you know, I maybe recommend some PB Blaster or something to spray each of these. Unfortunately, I left my can of PB somewhere, but luckily nothing broke, so I still have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 more to do, so hopefully don't run into that problem. But yeah, check hardware. Ugh, rusty, no bueno. How these connect, here are the mounts for diode, and they look a little different from the normal mount that I'm used to, at least. So what happens is you have these two holes right here, which it's gonna go like that. So it's actually gonna attach in two different places instead of one, and I'm just gonna aim them down, which is cool. So it attaches right here, and then you have the option, that's why this one's so long, to be able to move the lights to whatever angle that you want. That is a pretty cool addition as far as mounts. I've never seen one like that. Unfortunately, these mounts are silver or chrome or plated somehow, so that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna collect all these right now, and I'm gonna paint them with black, steel it, give them some time to dry, and then install them. Right, and for me, I am obsessed with steel it. It dries the best, and it is perfect. So everything about this is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray these over. Alright, so while those dry, I'm going to go ahead and get the roof rack off and get the rest of the backlights off. I have 2 more on one side and 1 more on the back. So I'm going to pop those rusty ones out, pop out that broken ass 42-inch light bar that does not work, and just do a lot of pop-ins. So I'm pulling back the wire for the light bar, and I was just going to cut it back to install the new Deutsch, but it's even the wire to this light bar like corroded on the inside, and it's like traveled pretty far down. Look at that. Crazy. Alright, now as far as diode goes, they send you the other side of the Deutsch. So all of their connectors are actually Deutsch connectors, which look like this, and they have 2 little pins on the other side. And this is the female half. So the male half comes on the light bar or the lights, and it's cool that they send you this other part to where you can actually wire them in to the previous wire setup that you have or whatever you got. And boom, you got a new Deutsch connector. So the light bar up front is not going to be as hard as I thought it was going to be. So I did cut quite a bit of wire because all that wire was messed up. So I just got some new wire. I have some heat shrink of a bigger piece, so I'm going to make this all nice, but I'm just going to extend the wire a little bit, some healthy wire in there, and attach this to the Deutsch connector, and I'll be able to run it back along my window. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and there is our amber light bar, and holy shit, that thing is fucking bright. Love it, love it. Unfortunately, I had to take down a lot more wire than I expected because all that wire was old and melted. So anyway, light bar done. So first 2 are up, and you can already tell the white light is so clean, and it's got a good spread too. So just like looking at it from an angle, you can see it's bright, like really, really bright. And that was something I didn't have with the last ones, and it kind of threw me off right from the beginning. I was kind of like, you have to like put your eyes in it in order for it to actually be bright. This one you barely kind of glimpse on, and it's, you know, it's there. You got pink dots, and I like how it's spreading down and kind of just illuminates everything down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the chase lights and get the other side going. Right, so I have the backs and the other sides all wired up. So there's the chase lights, and on the other side are the other 2 white lights matching this side over here. So now that I have all of the roof rack lights on, let's move to the fog lights. So I'm not gonna be able to do this one by the book, I guess, as far as what comes to mounting. This is all fucked up right here, so ignore this part. A couple years ago I was out in Mammoth, and I got stuck in the snow. Went to use my winch, and my winch line got wrapped around my light, ripped off my KC light and bent all this out. So I just drilled a new hole and kind of ghetto fixed it for right now. I just haven't had the time to go get it welded and fixed. But what I'm going to do is put one of the brackets here, put the old bolt that I have in it for it. It'll hold it fine. So. I think they look good. Now I just got to wire them up and figure out how to get the backlight on it to work without using another button on my Switch Pro. So that's kind of going to be the challenging part, but I like the way it turned out. It looks sleek with the truck, and it matches all the other diodes, so super stoked on it. So I'm wiring this up. For right now I'm just going to wire the black and the red together and figure out how to do the backlight later. So, and I'm all out of my wire crimper things. I have my heat shrink. Alright, so it is a new day, and I have an idea as far as getting the backlight to work with these S5 pods. So what I did is I went ahead and connected the main power sources into the existing harness that is attached to my Switch Pro. And my thinking behind this, if I'm right, is that the blue and the yellow here, I know control the backlight that can come on, and it just illuminates the S5 pods. And this one has two blues, and this has a yellow and a blue. I'm assuming this is yellow is going to be the ground, and the two blues, or the three blues, are the power. So I'm going to connect all the blues and then this to a ground, and then these, what I'm going to do is be putting the blues into a tap fuse into the ignition switch, so when I turn on the car, these come on. I don't know if it works. I don't know if I'm going to use it for this video, but we'll see. So what I'm going to start by doing is I got some extra wire. I'm going to extend everything, making my own wire harness basically. Well, not really a harness, but really just extending all the wires a little bit longer so I can reach them up to the battery, and I'm going to test it out from there. Alright, so I try to make it so you guys can see it. I started this one, so my plan did work. So I've got the power and the negative going to my old harness that is attached to the Switch Pro, so which controls the main light, fog light. And then I took the yellow and the blue and I just extended them, so I made the yellow into this green, which is my ground. So I just extended the yellow, and then on this blue one I added a red, which is a power. So I extended this to go to over here to these blue ones. So this red one is going to reach over to this one, and I'm going to take the two, because if you remember, the black and the red are also connected to the original wire harness, which is connected to the Switch Pro. So the main source of the main light of these two works right now. So now it's just really connecting the backlights. So I'm taking the red, which is attached to the blue from the side, and I'm moving it over to these two blues and putting them together. And then I'm taking the ground and I'm bringing this up to a ground up underneath the hood. And then I'm going to take, once these blue and these red are connected, I'm going to take this red and connect it to that one, and also go up to underneath the hood to a power source, which I'm going to do a tap fuse so the backlight comes on whenever I turn on the truck.
There. All ready and set. Do I have my elbow pads? I have my helmet.
As you can see, I have a lot of wires in my ignition fuse. So I increased the fuse size. Yeah, that's that. So I'm gonna be adding the power also to this one. Plug it back into its power. Go. Ground. Yeah. It works. Hell yeah. So I click on the key and now these come on. So it all worked out. I got a couple extra wires in places, more wires under the hood, but this is a win. And the mains work. Hell yeah.